In Mirabai's song Ab Chal Bas Nagar, we are asked to go to Vrindavan. But what does she mean by that? What is Vrindavan? Apart from being a physical place in North India, Vrindavan is really a Hinduistic kind of paradise, a nirvana, a beautiful green forest in which Krishna and Radha dwell. Both are forms of the divine manifested in a human being. This is Vaishnavism, the faith in God Vishnu and his Shakti, the personal divine, and his female power. How does all this concern us nowadays? Well, we could see it like one of the strategies in some modern psychotherapies, to go inwards to the safe place in us. In fact, it is an ancient technique of Indian yogis, the inward-going movement in meditation. This is based on the intuitive perceptions about the functioning of this world as preserved in the Upanishads, the thousands of years old Hinduistic scriptures about the functioning of our world, our cosmos of matter. Now let's ask the Faustian questions. Faust, one of Goethe's famous characters. What is this world? This time-space continuum, this constant movement between happiness and suffering into which we find ourselves thrown by birth? The Hindu answer would be, all phenomena around us, the whole cosmos, is the transcendent consciousness, the divine, which is gradually unfolding itself, thus reaching a higher and higher level of perfection, a movement away from ignorance and unconsciousness. The movement goes towards Satchit Ananda, that is knowledge, consciousness and bliss. Bliss, Ananda, of this consciousness is far more intense, of a far higher quality than the happiness we strive for in our daily life. We humans perceive ourselves as separate from every other human and other life forms, so much so that we struggle for survival with each other in hatred, jealousy and other negative emotions, and that we have a habit to consider nature and other life forms as given for our personal use only. Yet in essence we are all one, part of the transcendental consciousness. But we have lost the spontaneous awareness of this fact. This would be what Christian mythology describes in the Bible as banishment from paradise, the fall into unawareness. The striving for happiness, which we all have, is really based on an intuitive yearning for the transcendental bliss, which is far more intense than any ordinary happiness can be. To strive for this, Mirabai asks us in the song, to go beyond the limitations of our existence in time. We can choose to inwardly leave the field of fickle joy and reach out to the eternal depth within. This is a psychological development which requires a conscious effort over a long span of time. Yet in this depth we could find Radha, the female aspect of the divine, a lovable, beautiful cowherd girl, favorite playmate of Krishna Gopala, the irresistible, cute little flute player. With his flute he calls the individual soul sweetly away from the life of the senses, away from pettiness, greed, hatred, and all sorts of fears. One would have to set aside some time for this movement every day, shut out the outer world for the time, put on some nice music or else bring oneself in a relaxed mood. Then simply let go. Don't try and suppress thoughts even. Simply relax. Just watch. If the thoughts turn too negative, then use a positive image. like for example the scenery of Brindaban, the happy games of the cowherders there. Tell the transcendent consciousness, now I am with you. This is my time with you. So for now, you please take care of all my worries. For now, I want to see you as the cute little flute player Gopal or his beautiful playmate Radha. This is Mira's way to more inner peace and fulfillment. So, if you want to hear more about Mirabai's philosophy and her songs, please tune in again next week.